I'm Paul Gatling with the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal, and joining me today is Molly Rawn. She's the Executive Director of the Fayetteville Convention and Visitors Bureau called Experience Fayetteville. Molly, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Paul. Thank you.
Let's talk tourism. You know, it's a good time to be a tourism official in Northwest Arkansas. You know, the tourism ticker that we keep up with showed tax collections up pretty much around the board in every city up here. And in Fayetteville, I think it was about a 5% increase from the first 6 months of this year compared to first 6 months of last year. You joined the Bureau in August of 2016, so that's all the explanation I need to equate that gain to. But besides that, what do those numbers tell you? What does that reflect?
They reflect, and first of all, thank you. That would be giving me far too much credit. But you are very kind. What that reflects is that Fayetteville is a great place to come and have an experience. People love coming to Fayetteville. They love coming back. We have a thriving arts scene. Obviously, the University of Arkansas is a big tourism driver for the city of Fayetteville. The arts, which I know we're going to talk about a little bit more about in a minute, at least I hope I'll get a chance to. Walton Arts Center, Theater Squared, our visual art scene, the public art initiative that we launched. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that, you know, of the HMR taxes that we collect, a big chunk of that for Fayetteville is from restaurants. So that also tells me that locals are going out, engaging in our community, taking advantage of the culinary offerings we have in Fayetteville.
Right.
So that's also a hefty portion of that as well.
The restaurant always seems to be evolving, adding to and unfortunately taking away, but hopefully more adding to.
Yes, hopefully more adding to. We are lucky to live in a city and then in a region that has as much going on in the culinary scene as we do.
Right. Now
and I think you're just going to continue to see that grow.
Sure. Again, mentioned you joined the Bureau in August of last year. So what sort of changes have you introduced marketing-wise, brand-wise, to really drive some more interest in Fayetteville in that time?
So my team has really introduced a lot of changes over the past 14 months. First and foremost, a rebrand. You know, Fayetteville is not the same place as it was 15 years ago, and our brand as the Convention and Visitors Bureau didn't need to be the same. So with the relaunch of the new redesigned website, the new brand, new logo, new brand pillars for Experience Fayetteville that we launched in the spring. We also launched our public art initiative, Green Candy, this summer. That was new. And also, we've spent a lot of time over this past year really strengthening and developing closer working relationships with our regional partners. So with other CVBs, with regional entities, and that has certainly paid off, and we hope that's something will continue to grow.
How would you grade that rebranding, you know, tangibly? You know, you have a new website, you have the new, you know, Experience Fayetteville. How would you grade it so far?
It has been overwhelmingly successful. I mean, visits to our website have never been higher. Our video campaigns and pre-roll that we do have never had a greater return on investment from a marketing perspective. Our social media followers are up, so I would give it a solid A.
Right. What is it about Fayetteville that separates it from, what's the Fayetteville niche in Northwest Arkansas for a state visitor or even a regional visitor? Are there any kind of tourism or visitor sectors that Fayetteville appeals to more than others?
I believe so, yes. I think, first and foremost, you're going to see us talk a lot more about this in 2018, but the cycling community and mountain biking in particular, Fayetteville has excellent trails, as does Northwest Arkansas as a whole. And that makes it quite a wonderful place to visit for a mountain biker, and we want to continue to capitalize on that. The Fayetteville Ale Trail, so if you are a craft beer enthusiast, that is something that Fayetteville is the best spot in the region to come and drink craft beer. And also performing arts. The newly expanded Walton Arts Center with programming year-round, and Theater Squared, what you are going to begin to see as they build their new home. Fayetteville really solidifying itself as the leader in the performing arts in this region.
Yeah, let's go back and talk about the arts sector. You know, the public arts, you mentioned Theater Squared building their new, their home. Walton Arts Center just unveiled last year their refurbished home. You know, all that's been added for that. Talk about that as, you know, another profile of visitor that's looking to Fayetteville and how you're branding that and really pushing that.
Sure. So we do that in a number of ways. One is visitors that are already coming, that we know that are already coming to the region, whether it be for offerings in cities to the north of us that are artistic in nature, or Razorback games. So we look at how do we help them encourage them to add on to their stay. And then the other segment is that we look at how do we engage a unique visitor to come to places like the Walton Arts Center and Theater Squared. And we work very closely with those two entities when we promote that. And it's an area that I think we will see growth in
Right.
Next year in terms of the arts and in public art.
Right, and your office, I'm sure, is engaging more with the public art and the arts officials in the city.
We do, and you know, the public art it's a wonderful advertising vehicle for us. I mean, in addition to such a lovely offering for folks that live here, it's a great way to advertise and promote our city. I think it sends a signal that that we're vibrant, that we're dynamic, and that cool things are happening here. And you can get a whole lot of mileage out of just social media is one example, and what we've seen in Instagram and our followers from that public art. And you can trace back to where they're coming, to where they're coming and where they're looking at us. So it's a great way to get eyeballs on our city.
Right. Okay. All those are the good things now. So maybe what are some of the challenges? What are some areas that Fayetteville tourism is maybe working to improve on?
So I think one of the challenges, and it's a wonderful challenge to have, is that expectations are high. I mean, expectations for tourists in Northwest Arkansas are high. We have done an excellent job, as has our other cities in the area, of setting a high standard. And so our challenge is just how do we make sure that we continue to meet those expectations and even exceed those expectations.
Right. And kind of going into that last question, the year comes to a close and you really start to lock in on 2018. Talk about some of the things you're going to be doing to ramp up the tourism and marketing efforts to to help you to continue to drive that demand for Fayetteville.
So a strategic plan, that's something that we need to put in place and that I'll be working on over the next several months, is sort of a 3-year vision of how do we, as the Convention and Visitors Bureau, what is our role and how do we best carry that out to continue to meet those expectations, and how do all of our other entities fit into that, and how do they play a role in tourism, whether that be the Fayetteville Town Center or the Walker Stonehouse, how do all of those together really continue to help meet our mission.
Right. All right, Molly, good stuff. Always keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you being here.
Thanks.
All right, and we appreciate you for watching. I'm Paul Gatling. We'll see you next time.
Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation provides electric energy across 2/3 of Arkansas. This is an exciting time in our energy history, with incredible progress being made in renewable energy and storage technologies. As our energy portfolio continues to diversify, we'll maintain an all-the-above strategy to provide reliable and affordable electricity. Ever since the first light bulbs were placed in our members' homes, the electric cooperatives have been the solutions provider for our members, and we want to continue that well into the future.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America, moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.